Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media, and welcome to the 33rd entry in my Thrift Store Haul series. Today, I am showing some VHS tapes that I've picked up at my local thrift stores recently, and I have a dozen here, and that's only about maybe half of what I've actually picked up recently across multiple thrift stores. So really excited, a really cool stack of movies here. This is actually all from one store, one of my closest thrift stores, and then the others are kind of from various stores. But yeah, this is the one. I've showed some VHS tapes I've gotten here in the past, but they like reloaded, and so I grabbed a bunch more. So these are just cool collector's pieces. Am I ever going to sit down and watch these? Maybe some of them, but for the most part, I own them on other platforms, so this is double dipping, I guess, but it's fun to collect these, so that's why I grabbed them, and they're 50 cents each, so you really can't complain. But let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my Thrift Store Haul video number 33. Alright, so first up is actually a series that I have not seen yet, which is pretty crazy, but it is the Lethal Weapon series. So not only did I find number 1, I found number 2 as well, and number 3. So of course, I'm just missing number 4, which you may or may not see in an upcoming Thrift Store Haul video. I may have found that at another day. But yeah, I really have been interested in watching this series for quite some time now, and I thought these were just cool items to add to the collection. I'm kind of at the point now where any cool-looking 80s or 90s action sci-fi horror, I'm probably going to grab it if I find it for dirt cheap on VHS. I just think it's fun. So yeah, Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3, of course, Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. I know this is a beloved franchise, but it's one I've not spent any time with, and I do own all 4 of these on Blu-ray as well. So yeah, I thought these were just fun ones for the collection. Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3. And kind of in a similar vein, another action film from around that same era, we have Mission Impossible. This is another one I do own on Blu-ray, and I loved this the first time I saw it. I thought it was so much fun. It's just super over the top and an absolute blast. And so I thought this would be a fun item to add to the collection. Now, again, am I going to watch it on the VHS format in full screen? Chances aren't very high, but I think it's pretty cool either way. So Mission Impossible is now in my collection on VHS. This next one gets so much hate, I'm someone, I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. I'm right in the middle on this one. But we have the Roland Emmerich version from 1998 of Godzilla. So like I said, this one just gets a ton of hate, but I thought it was a cool one for the collection. It's just really nice cover art on this. And the best part, if I can there it is. If you can tell, that's textured, which is awesome. His eye is not, but everything around him is, which makes the eye stand out. Like, it's just a really cool VHS case, and so I definitely wanted to grab this one. So, yeah, again, not my favorite movie by any stretch, but I think it's fine for what it is. This is Godzilla from 1998. Next up is one that I frankly don't know if I have in the collection in any other format. If I do, it's going to be DVD, but I know I didn't pick up the 4K that came out recently of Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is such a fun movie. At least it was when I first saw it back in the day. And the first way I saw this was on VHS. My uncle owned it, and so that's how I ended up watching it. I watched a ton of movies at my uncle's, which I never really thought about over the years, but I definitely did. But yeah, a John McTiernan film, and he's brilliant. So you kind of know what you're getting here, right? But yeah, just a great film that I'm very excited to revisit at some point here. So Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Here's another one that I have not yet seen, but I definitely plan to very soon, hopefully for an upcoming I Watch 3 vlog. It was somebody's suggestion, and I own the Blu-ray right there. But we have Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner. I talked about it in a haul video I did recently that I wanted to do an I Watch 3 vlog of Costner films, maybe genre films from this era. And somebody recommended Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves as a good third option. So that might be the way I end up going. But yeah, just another one. I remember watching Serial at Midnight. Heath showed his copy of Robin Hood. I think it was Robin Hood. This was years ago, but he was just talking about how much he loved it because he loves this movie and was very nostalgic for this VHS of it. But again, I figured I would just pick it up because it's a pretty cool film to have on VHS. So Robin Hood, the Prince of Thieves. You are going to see a lot of this next movie in the upcoming weeks here because I've bought this movie a ton recently, but we have the VHS version of Batman Forever, the third film in that kind of quadrilogy of Batman movies. And this is one that I know I've seen a long time ago, but it has been so long. It's going to feel like a first time watch for me just because it's been so long since I've watched this. But I've picked this up a lot recently, so I won't spend too much time on it today. I just saw the VHS, so of course I had to grab it. I now have Batman Forever and Batman and Robin on VHS. I still have to get Batman Returns and Batman 89. So I am on the lookout for both of those. But in the meantime, I have Batman Forever. I don't love this movie, but I was super excited to find it on VHS. I actually want to get the whole original series on VHS. I have something in my eBay cart. I might pull the trigger eventually, but we'll see. But anyway, I was able to find Planet of the Apes from 2001, the Mark Wahlberg, Tim Burton feature. And like I said, not a good movie. Frankly, it's my least favorite in the Planet of the Apes franchise, but I love the Planet of the Apes franchise. It's one of my all-time favorites. And so because of that, I was not letting this go. And this thing is in shockingly great condition as well, which is always, unique to find a VHS tape of this age in such great shape. But yeah, I had to get this one. So excited that it's in the collection. Now I have this on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray, and I'm not getting rid of any of them. So we have 2001's Planet of the Apes. Keeping in that similar theme of movies that I don't necessarily love, but I thought would be cool to own on VHS, The Abyss. I just talked about this in a recent watches video because I watched my DVD version of it, trying to determine if I needed to upgrade to 4K or not, and I'm really glad I didn't because I just don't love this movie. That said, this is in excellent condition, and this is a really cool thing to have on VHS. I mean, it's The Abyss. Come on, what's not to love here? And I'm sure Cameron did some things with the audio on all the other releases that probably is not done on this release, so you're probably going to get more original audio on this. I don't know if that's true, but just given what I know of Cameron, this is probably a little bit different than even the DVD release, and for sure different than the 4K release. But yeah, very cool find here. Again, not a favorite of mine, but one I'm very happy to have in the collection, The Abyss. This next one I really thought might have been worth something on eBay, but I don't believe that it is. But either way, I'm very happy to have it in my collection. We have the Joe Dante film, Inner Space. And I believe this one must have been produced by Spielberg or something because it says here that it is Steven Spielberg presents Inner Space, a Joe Dante film. So I don't know too much about this. I think it's just going to be an 80s comedy, kind of a quirky comedy of some sort. I believe it's going to be sci-fi related. You can see a little creature there. And I know this one is available on Blu-ray if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I thought this would be a cool one to add. I don't own it any other way. So if I want to watch this, it will be the VHS version of it. But this was a cool find. We have Inner Space. All right, last but not least is another one that I think is super unique and pretty darn cool. We have the Philadelphia Experiment. Now on the back, the only date listed here is 1991. For some reason, I thought there was an older classic Philadelphia Experiment. Let me know down below if I'm wrong about that, but I really think there was one maybe even released on 4K. Maybe I'm mixing it up with the Final Countdown. It's kind of the same story. Whatever the case is, this looks really cool. Another one that's in good shape. And I say that these are in good shape, but I will mention almost all of them have some type of marking on them, which is annoying, but I guess that's just the way people rock. But yeah, this looks awesome. Another really cool find for the VHS collection. And again, 50 cents, like why not give it a shot? And another one I don't own on any other format. So the Philadelphia Experiment is going to round out this round of VHS tapes that I found at the thrift store. All right, now that is a big ol' stack of VHS tapes, and I gotta admit, I have no idea why the VHS bug has bit, but boy, has it bitten hard, and I have bags in front of me of more VHS tapes that I've grabbed from the thrift stores, and some DVDs in there as well, so what that means is that you will be seeing more entries in my Thrift Store Haul series here in the coming weeks, but I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. what do you think of this stack of movies here? And more importantly, have you been finding any cool VHS tapes at your local thrift stores or anywhere else? Let me know what you've been finding down in the comments. I appreciate all that support down there, so thank you so much for that. But as always, before you guys go, if you could just hit that like button down below, that engagement really does help me out. So thank you so much for that. And thanks for checking this video out. I also very much appreciate your time. But with that said, guys, before you go, I just want to encourage you all to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.